So what's been the big secret? A couple of days ago, I posted a video talking about liturgical art and promising a follow-up video that would take a liturgical art project start to finish. This is that follow-up video. And here's what the project is. When Jesus was baptized, the heavens opened and the Spirit descended on him in bodily form like a dove. The project is a picture of a dove to hang over our baptismal font. It's going to be an oil painting on a wooden panel cut out in the shape of a dove. The hope is that when it is completed, even though it is a two-dimensional painting, it will have the look of a three-dimensional object seen from a distance. The dove has long been, because of that story of Jesus' baptism, has long been the symbol of the Holy Spirit. We are approaching the season of Pentecost. Pentecost celebrates the beginning of the church and the arrival of the Holy Spirit. So it is for Pentecost that this project was prepared. And so now, start to finish, here's a look at how I built that dove that now hangs over the baptismal font at Berkeley Hills Lutheran Church. So step one is to make a transparency of the image I want to paint. And then I use a projector that I borrowed from the church, and I project that onto a wooden panel, which I then trace. And now you can see that there is the shape. So the next step isn't hard exactly, it's just time consuming. I take a jigsaw and I cut the shape out. And there's the shape. I used a good quality birch plywood, but even at that, the jigsaw tends to leave a lot of splinters. And so some light sanding is required to get all of those little burrs off. This particular project, this dove, will be hung from the ceiling of the sanctuary. And so my next step is to attach the hanging hardware. I'm doing this before I paint, so that to minimize the risk of damage to the painted surface. So I'm going on to the back of the image. I've drawn lines where it should go, and I have a rail here with two eye hooks, and then above it will go another rail with holes drilled through that line up with the eye hooks, and a string, probably fishing line, will go between here through that hole and then up to the ceiling. And this is to make sure that the image doesn't lean forward or back, but is balanced and hangs perfectly up and down. The image is now cut out and sanded and propped on my easel, and I am giving it the first of several coats. First, I will give it a basic white coat, and then after that I'll put in the shadows, and then the last thing will be to put highlights then over top of that. The idea is that I want this, even though it's a cutout, to look like it is a 3D object from a distance. I'm using oil paint rather than acrylic paint, because even though it dries much slower, it will blend better and gives a more realistic appearance. And as I'm a realist artist, that's always what I go for. So now, using a reference photograph, I've started to add some color. I have only one leg on so far. Got to put that on. The trick for me is to try to get it to look like the feathers are translucent as they are in the picture. A little more paint to go. So this is what it looks like when the painting is complete. The painting is the hardest and most time-consuming part, clearly, but it's also the most fun and the most engrossing. It's the part where you focus in like a laser and time doesn't pass and nothing else really matters except what the next brushstroke is and how to blend the colors that you have. And here it is. Christian images are meant to stir the Christian imagination. It was fun to make this image of a dove, and hopefully will serve as a reminder that the Spirit comes to us in baptism, and that the Spirit moves in our lives, stirs us, and always keeps us moving and strong in faith. Thank you so much.